I just experienced what could only be described as the most insane trading day of my entire career. In fact, as I'm filming this, I'm trying to mentally unpack it myself because I really can't believe all the chaos. In this video, I'm also going to be breaking down some larger things, such as a huge announcement we just got from Trump related to tariffs in Canada, Mexico, and China. Obviously, that caused some chaos in the market at the end of the day, and even how that ties together with my own trade is absolutely bonkers. We have some earnings, especially from the world's biggest company. I'm talking about Apple, and I very much hope you are watching this video in time because tomorrow morning, before the market opens, an hour before the market opens, we're getting another inflation report. So that's obviously just going to give us a lot more volatility and excitement to conclude the week and the first month of a new trading year. So that's what we're going to be getting into. If you enjoy these type of market recaps and really the diaries of a degen, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And with that being said, let's rock. When the closing bell on the world's largest casino went dingity ding 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 today, Thursday, January 30th, this was the headline. Dow closes more than 150 points higher in volatile session after slew of earnings reports. Yes, sirree, Bobo, it was volatile. Now, there was actually quite a bit of green, so this might actually not really tell you the insanity of the minute-to-minute action, but you can see a little noteworthy how red Microsoft was. Obviously, the market not reacting so well to its earnings report that we got yesterday. Here's a little looky-see at the market. We sold off in the SPY and the Qs in the morning. We bottomed around 11:15. We popped up, gave a bit back, and had a nice push all the way until 3:15. That's when we got this red dagger and then a little bit of a recovery. That was the same with the SPY and the Qs, closing out slightly in the green, about 0.5%, both of them. Right now in real time, we're getting the earnings report from Apple, slightly red, and then Intel is slightly green. And then the other one that just came out was Visa, which is also currently slightly green. So this might, to probably a lot of you, a lot of people who are reasonable, respect their risk, go for the reward, don't get absolutely tilted. This looks like probably not that bad of a session. Probably looks like, I hope if you're watching this, you made a good chunk of change. I was not that person. I once in a while get these visions of grandeur that finally I'm doing what a trader needs to do. Finally, I'm sticking to my strategy. Finally, I'm on this monk-like disciplined path and I'll be able to consistently do it. And then reality slaps me in the face and I realize that no, I'm a degenerate through and through. As I promise all of you, if you were on the stream this morning, you knew I wasn't just tilted, I was beyond tilted and I suffered the consequences. When I left you, I was only down $7,000 per account, which is still a lot of money. I was down 140 grand, but it got worse. It actually got 4 times worse. I was down 30 grand per account. I was down $600,000. I think my studio is still afraid of me. If you were here as I was trading throughout the day, the things I was saying, the way I was behaving, I was a ravenous toddler that someone just found from the woods, never had any connection with humanity. That's how bad it got. What I'm about to show you, please understand, is not the signs of a great trader who knows what's going on. It's the sign of the luckiest person you're ever going to meet, because this was taken, I don't know, around 11 or 12 today. By the end of the day, I am beyond elated to report to all of you, I ended in the green. In fact, I actually made a good chunk of money at the end of the day. So I was down $600,000, ended up about, I don't know, maybe 10. So it was once again about a $1.2 million swing today, down 600 grand and then making it all back and then some. And it was absolutely wild. So that in itself, the swing sounds crazy. But when I tell you that this is just pure luck, let me show you this picture. I want to get this tattooed on my back because I still don't believe it. You could see around 12:52 right at the end of lunch hour, I went long max contracts. I had 20 accounts. I went long 10 on each of them. I was long 200 NASDAQ future contracts. And all I did some back of the napkin math to figure out, okay, where do I go green on the day? How much money do I have to make back? And I realized that, oh, I need to put it up at 700 exactly. So I put my sitting sell order there and hours had passed. And not only did I get my fill, that was the top tick of the day. I don't know how to describe this. This is nothing but the most immense luck a human can possibly have. Or to put that another way, I got out around 325, exactly the number I needed to get right above being red on the day. and a couple minutes later, the market absolutely puked. The SPY was trading just above 606 and ended up going below 602 just to bounce back. Absolutely wild. And you might be wondering what happened, and he goes by the name of Donald Trump. Breaking: Trump 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico announced right before the market closed. Trump to hit Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs on Saturday. President lists fentanyl and trade deficits as justification. President Donald Trump said he would follow through with the threat to impose 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico on February 1st, citing the flow of fentanyl and large trade deficits as reasons for the decision. So this is all coming out today, makes the market go haywire. Tomorrow we have an inflation report, and then apparently these might be imposed the very next day. Lots to consider. Trump: we have all the lumber we need. I felt like I just needed to include this because of the comedy involved. Not only are we talking about serious global trade and monetary policy and inflation and the flow of trillions of dollars, he just needed to add in, hey Canada, we ain't scared, we got our own lumber. We thought it was all done, and then a little bit after the market closed, we got an update. Breaking: Trump's China going to end up paying tariff as well. So he didn't stop at just Canada and Mexico, two of our largest trade partners. He went to the other one. He got all three, and that was China. And I wouldn't be surprised, maybe by the time I'm done filming this, who knows, what if he starts calling out the EU as well? That's been on his short list recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is coming down the pike. Other things you should be paying attention to is the fact that we are in earnings season. As I'm filming this, Apple, Intel, and Visa all just reported, but I want to remind you we have some earnings plays tomorrow, and then next week we have even more big tech plays. So let's do these ones in reverse order. Visa beat on EPS, beat on revenue. It's up after post-market right now. Moving on to Intel, also beat on EPS just barely and also beat on revenue. And last but not least, in fact, it's the biggest one in the S&P 500. You have Apple beating on EPS and then also slightly beating on revenue. It was green, then went slightly red. So the real key here, or for all three of them, is to be checking them more in pre-market trading tomorrow, also with the PCE report. So this post-market, yeah, it's exciting, but what matters is where we open up tomorrow. Speaking of the PCE, at the start of this video, I said I hope you were watching this in time because I talked to the guys in the lab and I had them crunch up some numbers for you that I think you might find a bit interesting. So just so you know, the PCE, the personal consumption expenditure. This is another inflation report, very similar to the CPI report, but if you listen to the Fed and really specifically Jerome Powell, they actually care more about this one than they do the CPI report. So once again, it's just another month over month, year over year inflation reading, and it comes out at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow ET, so an hour before the market opens. And just to help all of you guys out, I thought I would go and look at the entire grouping of PCE reports from last calendar year. So this is all 12 PCE reports from the year 2024. And I wanted to look at two things. The day that we get the PCE report, I wanted to know, do we gap up or do we gap down from the announcement? And then the day itself, is it a red day or is it a green day? So what I found with respect to gap ups and gap downs, it's actually 6 versus 6, pretty much just flipping a coin. And then also what I found is in terms of having a red day or a green day, it's actually 7 red days and 5 green days. So pretty much 50-50. So that's not the most helpful. But what I did find is that the direction of the gap is actually very indicative of where we're going that day. As in, it's not that common to undo really the momentum and the direction that we have from the announcement itself. So I can't sit here and talk to a crystal ball or anything and tell you, oh, be bullish or bearish. But what I can tell you is there is statistical significance for the momentum to continue in the direction of the initial market open gap. So I hope that makes sense. Like I said, I hope you're watching this video in time because the report is coming out tomorrow morning. But folks, if I'm being completely honest with you, I need to go take a nap, or I need to go to the bar, or I need to go play with my cat Piper, do something. I've had such a absolutely frantic day. Granted, super lucky day. By no means am I trying to complain. Definitely not trying to brag. If anything, you could say my trading was completely horrendous, but I just need some sort of mental break. So I hope that this video is helpful for all of you who were cheering me on, not only in the Goonie Discord, but also on stream this morning, hoping that can make it back. Seriously, that type of, I guess, just support, it really means a lot. It really, really does. So hats off to all of you guys. I appreciate all the good vibes. I appreciate you guys stopping by this video, and I will catch you in the show tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Actually, no, scratch that. We're going to be starting early because of that PCE inflation report. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much.
Peace.